Hello and welcome back to Fair Fight North Carolina with Scott Peoples. I'm your host, Bobby Jones. And today we want to talk about something that got nationwide attention, and that was the state Supreme Court race in North Carolina. Needless to say, it was a combination of people standing up and doing the right thing with the wild, wild west. And so I'm going to turn it over to Scott to kind of not just explain what happened, but the ramifications of it, because they're significant. So Scott, can you tell people who may not be familiar with what happened in North Carolina, what exactly happened?
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to also, just from a veteran's perspective and people that care about democracy, why this is so important. Yeah, so in the 2024 cycle, we had Jefferson Griffin versus Allison Riggs, and Allison Riggs, the Democratic nominee, won by a little over 700 votes. And Jefferson Griffin, just like Trump in 2020, refused to concede and tried every legal way or every way through the courts to try and overturn the election. Luckily, there was after 6 months, a federal court person that was nominated by President Trump actually, struck it down as not a path forward, and Allison Riggs was granted, winning the seat. But the ramifications and the damage that it did, I think, to our democracy in the state, if it's not squelch going forward, could be deep. So basically, Jefferson Griffin, who is an Army veteran, wanted to throw out military ballots of people that voted absentee. He, put that in his case, or about 5,500 military ballots from overseas that were only from majority districts that typically vote for Democrats from blue districts. So pretty easy to see what their scheme was. And the sad part was the appeals court and the state Supreme Court of North Carolina went along with his challenge, and if it weren't for the federal court, I'm pretty sure they would have done everything in their power to grant Jefferson Griffin the winner.
So to recap, servicemen and women that live in that area of North Carolina were the ones that were victimized by this. And for people who don't know, it's difficult, especially if you're deploying, to make sure you get your ballot in and count it in the military. It's not as easy as you think it would be. And so you have to go that extra mile to do it. And he targeted those votes in particular.
Yeah, he targeted those votes in particular. If those would have been overturned, he would have had enough to overturn the 734 that he was trailing by. It's just a great example of, as we in Veterans for Responsible Leadership look for people in public service that put integrity first, put principles over power. He just got usurped by the thirst for raw power that he threw out everything his oath meant to him as being an Army captain.